Hey everybody, welcome to another wonderful episode of Derp Your Hooves. Today we are in the F-104 Starfighter. Sim Skunk Works are the people who have brought us this aircraft, and I am in no way being endorsed by them, or Asobo, or Microsoft Flight Simulator to do any of these flights reviews. I just like flying these planes. And I think they did a pretty good job with this aircraft. So this aircraft today we are, again, flying in the F-104, was known as the Missile with a man in it, and we actually have two men, could be a woman, two women, you don't know. It's digital, but, so this is actually the Missile with two men in it today. Digital men. Virtual men, meta men, well, whatever. So this plane actually in this livery took off. It was actually stationed at this airport when it was an Air Force base. It was known as George Air Force Base, and it is now currently known as Southern California Logistics Airport in Victorville, California. We are taking off from here. We're going to go behind us to the north to Edwards Air Force Base, where this plane, well, not necessarily this squadron, but the F-104 was stationed. We got our flaps down, we got our brakes off, and we've been showing you the external view, and we're going to take off, hopefully straight. Should be no crosswinds in the high desert. Kind of do this historical flight, because I can pretty much guarantee you that if there was an F-104 like this stationed here at Victorville, that at some point in time it took off from here and landed at Edwards. Gears up. I did not adjust my pitch.
Derp Pony plane 479er minus 2 leaving my airspace frequency change approved. Victorville Tower Derp Pony plane 479er minus 2 frequency change.
Alright, so that was gears up. We were headed south. We're headed north. No, we're headed south. This other compass here is off. There we go. We're headed in roughly the southerly direction. Okay, so I don't really know how to tell if my flaps are up by my indicator lights, but look at this. It's a simulator, it's not real life. I can look on the outside and say, yep, they're up. As I gain altitude and I head south, and if any of you want to do your geography and know how to fly, then you know where I am and what's around me. For those of you who don't, again, I'm going to say we are in the California high desert, and we are flying a plane that not only was it known as the Missile with a man in it, it was also known as the Widowmaker. So, a little bit more about this plane. Again, we said it's one of the first supersonic, well, one of the first supersonic aircraft. It was capable of going Mach 2, a little faster than Mach 2, I think. Good luck getting the sim to let you fly at Mach 2. I think I might have done it once. I can't remember. Now, you have to be careful with this aircraft. I was actually doing a previous tutorial, which we're not going to use, and I overstressed it. And, well, we didn't get to land, and I'm really going to try and, not only just take off, but successfully land this aircraft. So let's see, if we were headed north, well, we were headed south, sorry, see, backwards, man. So if we were headed north, or south, and now we're headed northeast-ish. If we head northeast, we should come upon Edwards, which Microsoft Flight Simulator has estimated is a 15-minute flight. But we're going to fly for more than 15 minutes. So George Air Force Base is inactive. It has been inactive, and it was deactivated in 1991, 1992. Served the country for many years. You can research George Air Force Base for the good and the bad of what it was. I can't ever recall being there at any point in my life. Maybe I did visit it once, and I'm not aware of it. Could be because it was active at one point in my life. But cool school field trips and everything else aside, never saw an F-104. So, this plane was also used for astronaut training because they had a version of it that had a solid rocket booster, and it could fly, I think it was like 120 something. I forget, it could fly like really high altitudes. Again, I encourage you to research the plane and do some history. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was like, it was one of the first planes that could actually do something like that when they modified it. And they used to have basically high altitude suits, which are space suits. And if you ever see these really funny looking pilot suits that they had in the 50s and 60s for this plane, you might wonder, well, what was with that? Yeah, well, it's because this plane could fly so high. Apparently, the leading edges, so let's look at that on the wings. These little stubby things, which are wings, apparently were so sharp that they would sometimes cut the ground crew. I mean, I guess you could walk into them and hurt yourself. So I really don't think that there's many aircraft in our inventory today that have that. I wouldn't know. Maybe there are. But this was one that is no longer in active service. They retired them in the United States in, I think, 74, 75. And it was in operation with, I think, Germany, Italy, until 2004. Almost 2005. So, they had it for a long time. They were sold to other countries. There's Edwards. Right there. Kind of funny, they really are close together. But anyhow, Edwards is still active. And hey guys, it's all fun and games to land at a military base in the sim. If you ever get your GA pilot's license, I'm pretty sure your instructor will tell you that do not land on a military installation. I know that you can for emergencies, and there's procedures and things you have to do to be able to be permitted to land at such a facility. I would not recommend it. And I think that's pretty much all I would say, is I really wouldn't recommend it. But hey, in this sim, you can go nuts and, take off and land. You can even fly military aircraft that don't exist, some that do exist, that, very few people ever get the opportunity to fly. These are facts. But let's focus on this old plane. Yes, this is Edwards Air Force Base. And I haven't been here in the sim in a while, right? So there's the dry lake bed. That's pretty interesting. So look at all the runways out there. And there's a compass out there. That's pretty cool. So we got runways out here. What do we have? I think we have like 18, right? I don't even know. Let's see. Let's look at our compass. What do we have? We have... If you guys can tell, I don't fly to Edwards that much. We have what looks like, 25? 25 right? 6 right? 25 right? 15 right? And what, like 30 something left? Anyhow, let's take a look. Gonna get kind of weird here. It looks like what? Like 25, 27. Well, they'll tell us when we are gonna land as we go ahead and slowly circle the dry lake bed here. I think the space shuttle landed here. I know they did the what was it? The $1 Million Man, the Bionic Man. Forget the name of the show with Lee Majors. This is definitely before some people's time. But you know, I mean, still, it should be. It's kind of, you know, a classic. Anyhow, interesting TV show, Lee Majors. What was he, an astronaut, ex-military? His character, you know, crashed here in the high desert, and they have the technology. They will rebuild him. So anyhow, that was the theme of the show. Yes, many pilots have lost their lives here at Edwards, testing experimental aircraft, testing prototypes, like the F-23, the YF-23. Sorry, there will never be a F-23. It does not exist. There's a YF-23. I think there's one left. Anyhow, that's a different story. That the YF-23 was the plane that didn't get put into mass production, but the F-22 did win. Again, you know, that's something else that's fun to read about if you guys are into aviation history. And those planes too probably would never have come about, you know, possibly, you know, without this. And if I remember correctly, I think this was built by the Lockheed Skunk Works. Interesting stuff Lockheed has done, making military aircraft. Again, you know, there's all kinds of great books that you guys can buy and stuff about them. But great plane here. This really is fun to fly. It does not like landing low at low speeds. 2. We want Edwards Air Force Base. That's selection number 1. Edwards Tower. Full stop landing. Let's see if we can do this without crashing the plane.
479er -2 is 6 miles southwest, 4,500 feet with Mike to land. Your Peabody plane 479er -2 Edwards Tower. Altimeter tree 0.12 with com. Fly straight in runway 05 right.
5 right.
Fly straight in runway 05 right. Derp pony plane 479er -2.
But don't do it at 500 knots.
Peabody plane 479er -2 with com. Cleared to land runway 05 right.
Look at that. Well, we're going to have to circle around.
Cleared to land runway 05 right. Derp pony plane 479er
Because we
-2.
missed our approach. 5 right, he says. I believe 5 right is the one that looks like it's in the center. Because you have right and left. Yeah. I mean, we're basically headed, you know, in that direction. But we're going to have to come back around one more time. I really need to stop bumping my headset. Scratching my head sometimes when I'm flying. And I'm live streaming. Not live streaming, sorry, recording. But hey, you guys, on that note too, I have been thinking about live streaming and having live stream events. So if you think that you might be interested in, say, live stream events, you know, maybe we could work out some kind of a schedule where we could live stream fly once a week or once every couple of weeks, depending on what my schedule's like. No, it's lots of fun. There are other people who actually have live stream flying events. They're lots of fun. I highly encourage you, if you like Microsoft Flight Simulator, to look some of them up. And if any of you are watching and you have your live stream events, I would be happy to, let people know about it. Anyhow, definitely food for thought, because live stream flying is fun. It's part of the whole fun of this simulator. Okay, so let's try and land this thing. So, we said 5 right. Look at this. This is great. So I can check 5 right, because I'm so busy talking that I forgot. Was it 5 right or 5 left? So let's bring it around. And we're about 8,000 feet. That's going to be too high. And let's land this thing. Again, hey, this is a fun plane to fly. It's a piece of history. It's faster than any of the old propeller World War II jets. See, watch this. Ready? It even had speed brakes. Yeah. Isn't that cool? On the side. Anyhow, so let's bring our airspeed down drastically. But not too drastically. It will not, we won't be able to get the, there we go, 5 right. 5 right is that big long one. Yeah. So, gears. Microsoft Flight Simulator does not let you deploy gears at certain speeds with certain aircraft, so don't try it. Anyhow, this aircraft here, not left, right is the long one. This aircraft here, which actually looks like the center because there's an airstrip off to the left. This aircraft is very hard to land. Flaps, well, it's not incredibly hard to land. It just needs to be landed at the right speed, which is usually no less than 200 knots. And let's make sure we have the right view angle. That's kind of important. Look, there's a little cheat. I can actually look down the nose. Okay. Let's bring her in. Hey guys, I'm going to be quiet, but I don't know if I'm going to do this too well. I'm really not fully paying attention. Let's see. We're off center. I don't know. Too high. Don't fly like me. Well, that was actually pretty good. We were a little off center, but at the same time, it looks like we did okay. And no real brakes. I don't want to veer left or right now. I just kind of want to roll down the runway with my speed brakes out, as if I had hot brakes and it's not going to stop. Let's just get towards the end of the runway. So, I mean, right now I'm not even, like, shifting the rudder pedal. And no, there's no drag chute. I'm just not going to stop till we get towards the end. Alright. Beautiful plane. Isn't that a beautiful plane?
Your P-8 plane 479 or -2, turn next taxiway.
Yeah, there might be an F-16 or an F-22 that's coming. Oh. So, retract our air brakes, as they're called in Top Gun. Hey Mav, hit the air brakes. Do you know that trucks have air brakes? Anyways, yeah, some pilots don't like hearing, especially fighter pilots don't like hearing that phrase, air brake.
Your P-8 plane 479 or -2, turn next taxiway.
I heard you. I have this little, viewing bubble to look out at, and I'm trying to find the next taxiway. There should be one at the end of the runway, right? To my left or to my right? Oh, there's one to my left. I have no idea where I am here at Edwards. Maybe anyone who's ever flown out of Edwards knows where they are. I have landed here in the sim a few times. Look, we can just follow that taxiway to our left.
Plane 479er minus 2 exit runway when able.
I heard you the first time. Really, I did. Not too much throttle. Yes, yes. Dude, you are very distracting. I'm trying to talk to these wonderful people about this wonderful aircraft without tipping it over.
Going to 121 decimal, a Derp pony plane 479er
letting you know that I'm getting off your runway. So the UFOs can land here or whatever. And, anyhow, let's just kind of taxi down the runway. And so, look, I was actually able to land it successfully, and I really should be in the cockpit paying attention because it looks like I'm going pretty fast. How many knots am I traveling at? Well, too fast to be taxiing. And we're just going to kind of park this thing wherever. Hey, are you actually going to cross an active runway like that without looking? Yep. And simulator I am. Anyhow, there's like hangars and parking over here as I crossed over one runway without stopping or looking, or any signals from the tower. That's kind of important in real life, by the way. Ooh, it looks like they parked some kind of small planes right here. So we could just, maybe park this right here. Should we park it on the taxi line? It looks like they do, actually. What would I know? Anyhow, we could do that, just for the sake of the sim. So let's have a look at this beautiful machine. Okay, so we got our throttle, we've got our stick, we've got our, whatever it's called, compass. Yeah, on the instrument panel, it's not a dashboard, it's an instrument panel. So we have all of that, and we have a canopy release somewhere around here because we want to open our canopy. We want to, kind of make it look all professional. So let's see, canopy open, close. We click that, and the canopy opens and closes. Isn't that cool? By the way, in this plane, they actually had to eject from the bottom because if you tried to eject from the top, the pilots would actually hit the T-tail and die. So, I don't know if they discovered that firsthand, but yeah, so you had to go through the bottom. And again, read up on the history of this aircraft if you're interested. There's actually lots of history behind it. Interesting plane. Fun to fly, man. We're just going to do this. We're going to cheat. And that shuts her down. No, but I want the canopy open. What did you do? I did what's called Control-Shift-E. It's just going to shut everything off. Yep, your electronics, your engines, everything is going to be shut off. And we can look and see, are there any kind of nifty static elements here? Flying suit. Flying suit on and off, really? What was that for, like your air conditioning for your flying suit? Anyhow, lots of really cool stuff here, but isn't there like a static elements? Because, these aircraft, if you've flown them before, sometimes they have like covers and ladders and all kinds of cool stuff that if you find the right switches that never are on the real plane, but they're here so that you can actually put covers on it. Because if we go to the outside, oh no, chocks are there, covers are on. Hey, you don't have to do it on this model, and no one wheeled the stairs over to us. So I'm guessing that's why nobody's in it. We're no longer in it, so we're outside. Hey, cool. Yeah, for you guys who are like hardcore, like pilots, or enthusiasts, and you're like, I'm not going to control E to start, and I'm not going to control Shift E to shut it down. You know, I'm with you guys. Study the manual that comes with the plane, because most of these planes come with a manual, and learn the controls and learn how to turn them on and turn them off as they would be, or as close as the maker of the virtual aircraft that you are flying in a simulator made for you. Beautiful plane. Look at that. It's just, you know. But sometimes, and I'm going to say this because I've had it happen, sometimes Control-Shift-E is just a fun thing in the sim instead of spending a half an hour, 20, 15 minutes hunting around for, the fuel cutoff switch and the battery switch, or one that might not have been programmed right. It's in here somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm pretty sure it's in here. So again, F-104 from Sim Skunk Works. This livery here is, 7/14th. I made it, so I should know what it is. And I'm not really promoting my own skin, but hey, why don't I do that? You can download my skin, this skin, at flightsim.to. If you're looking for creators, look for Pony767, and you will find this. And again, this is a historical repaint of what would have been a single-seat aircraft for tail number 60908. Again, stationed at George Air Force Base. And I forget what the squadron number was, but it was a famous squadron that's actually still in use today, and it was just transferred to another base. So there's all my promotion for my skin. So here we are looking down the burner can. I mean, that's enormous. Excuse me. Coffee. So much coffee today. So here's what I was talking about. Look, it actually had, see on the leading edges, they actually had these removed before flight because the ground crew would cut themselves. I mean, that's, and again, I don't know if it was razor sharp, but it was definitely pretty sharp if you're going to cut yourself on that. But again, if you really look at this aircraft, it has the characteristics of a modern aircraft that is in use today. Maybe not totally, but definitely shares the characteristics with one of them. I wonder which one it is. More than one, actually, if you look at it. But definitely you're seeing all kinds of, design, the evolution of the design of the fighter, on stuff they were doing using in the 50s. 50s. Here, I'm talking 50s. That are still put into practice today. Anyhow, I guess that's enough talking about this aircraft. I had fun flying it. I do like flying some of the military jets. Not just Air Force, Navy, Marines. They're fun aircraft to fly. So are the GAs, don't get me wrong. I'm sure I'm boring all of you with my Cessna Skymaster videos, but, Cessna 172, hey, you know what? That's actually kind of a fun plane, especially on floats. So, again, F-104, nice plane. I'm going to say I highly recommend picking this one up and adding it to your hangar. You won't regret it. Definitely a fun plane. So anyhow, everybody, thanks for watching my video. If you happen to like what you've seen here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the skies.